Welcome everybody to the APTA's Grand Prix series. We are at the Western New England Grand Prix, sponsored by the APTA national sponsors Viking, Fusion, Upswing Health, and My Paddle, and the local sponsors Goodroot, McKenna and Caban, Family Orthodontics, Everest Vodka, and Collins Electric. We are live from the Longmeadow Field Club on the APTA network, presented by ProFlight Live. I'm Mark Ennis, alongside with Mark the Voice Official. We are bringing you the women's semi-final between Roxy Anika and Martina Andreikova. They are taking on the number one seeds, Florentina Hanisch and Anna Maria Zabori. Mark, how are you today?
I'm really excited, Mark. This is a great matchup, some of the most dynamic players in the game, and it should be just a tremendous matchup. These teams played in Darien at the beginning of the year. It was a fairly competitive straight set match, but you definitely see Anika Andreikova kind of finding their form. So here's the calendar in front of you, where we've been, the 8 Grand Prix and the Nationals, hopefully in Boston in early March. And then as we come back to the court, let's take a look at the players out there. So at the bottom of the screen, in the black hat in the left corner, is Anna Maria Zabori, who many people think is the most talented player in the game. And her partner is Flor Hanisch, the 2017 national champion. Anna Maria works at the New Canaan Country Club. And then her partner Flor Hanisch is at the Westchester Country Club, and they'll be facing Martina Andreikova, who's working on the top left-hand part of the screen, is at the Greenwich Country Club, and her partner Roxy Anika, who is at the Orienta Beach Club. And if Zabori isn't the most talented player in the game, then maybe Anika is, Mark?
I think that's a fair statement, and I was excited to see how you were going to describe the players when they had matching outfits. I think you did pretty well there.
Yeah, well, I might have gotten all 3 of the 4 wrong. At least Roxy's got some red.
No, absolutely. We have so much talent on the court right now. This is going to be an incredible semi-final.
Yeah, I think it really is, and there's just a lot of shot making out there, and it should be just really exciting. Let's take a fast look at the draw and see how these teams got here. So neither team was really challenged very much getting through. Relatively unscathed, so I don't think that fitness will be much of an issue here at all, Mark.
Yes, I can't foresee that playing into it. We did have some upsets in the lower half of the draw.
Yeah, some surprising upsets in the lower half of the draw. Current national champion Macy Elliott went out in the first round, and then the number 2 seed Cobra Mullenfeld went out in the second round, and it just gives you an idea of the depth that the women's game is developed in the last few years. It's tremendous to see.
Absolutely, and Cooper Mullenfeld just coming off a big victory at the Midwesterns, which we had last weekend in Cincinnati, Ohio. So that's definitely a great win for Manley and Ruoff.
And that's a New Jersey matchup, Delmonico Gebbia, Manley Ruoff, and our other semi. Hopefully we'll be able to take a look at that match as things progress on the second court, depending on how our internet options are working.
Oh, that's going to be a battle for Jersey there.
So back to the court, Mark. How do you see this thing unfolding? What do you think that Anika and Andreikova have to do differently than they did in Darien?
You know, I think all 4 players just know each other's game so well. I think it's really going to be a matter of executing and who can play tough in those big points. Everyone has the ability to pull off a multitude of shots. So it's going to be playing tough in the big points, and it's going to be a matter of executing. I don't think there's going to be any crazy strategic switches, but it's a matter of, at this level, it's a few points here or there and who can execute.
Our scorekeeper today will be Rob Durfee. And I should add just at the beginning, it's just so remarkable the APTA has been pulled these events off and this COVID-19 times in a healthy and safe manner for our players. It's the reason we don't have umpires in some of our tournaments. And just all respect to Tiernan Kavana, Amin Kaderi, Ann Sheedy, Nindy Pike, Isabel Caban, Jerry Vion, obviously, for managing this, because I know it looks seamless from outside, but it's hard. This is hard.
Absolutely. Shout out to the whole APTA crew that's putting it together, and the players coming out. It's a different vibe for all of them. They don't get to have that social hangout and that so many of those elements that make paddle so fun. So great to see them all here, all the players that traveled out, and we're so happy to have you.
One of the things we've seen in the game in the last 5 years, and I would say the women's game was maybe a year or two behind the guys on this, is the court has gotten so big. They're using all aspects of the court, and Zabori is probably the best in the women's game at that. Between the drop shot and the hard overhead, she's gonna test your movement. I think that's one of the things that Anika and Drekova really have to figure out with regard to competing today, because that was one of the differences I thought in Darien.
Oh, absolutely. Zabori's so good at bringing players forward, whether it's with her hard roller or her drop shot. They're really going to have to keep her away from that front half of the service box. If they lob short, I think that she's really going to make them pay.
And Mark, in terms of tempo, who do you think tempo benefits? I mean, who wants to play fast? Who wants to play slow? Because I know Anika likes playing fast and Zabori likes playing fast, but who's that going to benefit?
I honestly think it can benefit both of them. As you said, Anika loves playing fast, Zabori plays fast. They're two of the best at doing it. I think it's going to be who can do it at the right time. You know, we've spoken, you and I, before, Mark, about riding the momentum. If it's going your way and you have the hot hand, can you push it? But then can you be self-aware enough, and you and your partner, if it's not going your way, to slow things down, dial it back? So it's going to be such an exciting match to see how they ride the lightning.
A lot of shot making out there. And it was really good to see Anika and Drekova play well in the quarters, because that was the first time this year I've really seen Roxy Anika looking like Roxy Anika on the court. I know Jerry and Lauren commented about that, but she just looked comfortable, and I think she's finally gotten some time on the court. As it has been for all the pros, it's been a remarkably busy season, and I don't think they've all got to practice nearly as much as they'd like.
No, absolutely. I think that's a common trend for most of the pros, not getting to spend as much time competing and practicing as they would like to. So it's great to see Anika comfortable and playing her game.
Okay, so Martina Andrekova is going to serve, and she'll be serving to Flor Hanisch in the blue visor. And here we go.
Let's do it!
Love. Hanisch is just a prototypical player. We talked about her a lot last year. She's not the best at everything, but I think she's got the best package in the game.
Absolutely.
There's that big Zabori forehand.
So smooth.
All. Yeah, the ball just jumps off her paddle.
Effortless. And as you said, Hanisch is just the complete package in terms of playing, and mentally I think she's just so tough. She puts a lot of effort into her mental game.
The one weakness in the Hanisch game is that forehand can come and go at times. Oh. Anika barely moved. That ball was past her.
Oh, I think she knew she wasn't getting that one back.
This is Zabori mimicking falling backwards as she makes contact with that ball, and that's very good commentary. Not a very good forehand, but very good review of it.
That's right. No words needed.
Do we see any lobs that game? Maybe one lob that game?
There was one, correct.
One. Okay.
They lead 1-0 in the first set.
And that's just like we were saying, right? There's going to be there's just so much explosion and power on the court. It's going to be a lot about who can ride the momentum when they have it.
Okay, so Anna Maria Zabori to serve to Martina Andrekova. And that's what we talked about. Andrekova's got to be careful that she can't hit that three-quarter ball, because Zabori's just sitting on it, waiting to hit the drop shot.
And Ondrekova and Zabori used to be partners, correct? They were #1 in the country together.
Last couple of years they played together, lost in the quarters of nationals, and a great match last year to Macy Elliott, Marcelo Rodesno. One of the things that's got to concern you a little bit if you're in the Anika Ondrekova camp is Ondrekova tends to play deep in the court because she doesn't like the wires so much, and that's gonna open up too much court for Zabori if they don't lob well.
Correct. Oh, great disguise.
Big shout out to Jeff Morneau, tournament director, who I know is enjoying this match. He loves watching Anna Maria Zabori play.
He is definitely the host with the most. Oh, what a volley.
Yeah, Anika's got to be careful with that overhead. And that's what you have to avoid. When you start getting into those cat and mouse points with Zabori when she's coming forward, you're just in big trouble. You just don't want to do that.
Dancing with the devil. She will burn you there, that is for sure.
And that all started with a hard overhead that was just hit too hard by Anika off the back wire and popped out.
Love.
Oh!
Tough return.
40-15.
Just caught Hanish a little flat-footed there. You got to get that paddle up. Or get out of the way.
Well, I would choose that option.
Using your head to block it is probably not on your top 10, I wouldn't think.
Great
Good
serve.
serve. Great serve right into the
Anish
corner.
and Zabori. Games are 1-all in the first set.
And we've got 2 holds off the bat.
Wow.
The first round match, Lauren Mandel and myself were commentating, and we had 4 holds in a row.
That's impressive.
It was. So we have Roxy Anika up to serve. Her previous round in the quarterfinals, she did exclusively the underhand or sidearm serve.
Yeah, she's been toying with it for a while, but never really had a lot of confidence in it. She looked much better with it, like she did with everything else in her game.
Love.
We can definitely look for that to be a difference maker if it can neutralize the Zabori return.
So 1-all first set.
15-all.
Great deep overhead there by Ondrekova.
Ball.
Smooth return.
Called in by Ondrekova. So 30-40, 1-all, 30-40. Oh. Oh. That's a great volley from Hanish off the lead cord. That's a great ball from Hanish.
That's 2 in this game, those down the lines. 1 was off the return. So she's
Hanish, Zabori.
Yeah, I thought it was game mark, but nobody was changing sides.
2-1.
2 fantastic forehands there by Hanish. both down the line. She obviously knows something about Anika crossing. They've played each other so many times, so she's
Played together. Played together in some tournaments too.
This is always the fun battles when old partners or people you've played with start to play against one another. You know each other's games, and that's something we always say about paddle. It's not that you've come up with some unique, crazy new strategy. Everyone knows the basic strategy for the most part. It's can you be disciplined and can you execute?
Yeah, in addition to the myriad of their other skills, I would say that Hannes Zabori serve better than anybody else in the women's game as a team. Both have very solid serves.
Yes.
Great deep overhead from Hanish there. So Mark, I have a question. I've been noticing this. Everybody apologizes insincerely in the Let's Court, but nobody ever apologizes when they shank a winner.
That is true.
Well, what's
I
up
think
with
it's
that?
probably it's both the same. You probably should say sorry either way, or don't say sorry on either.
Right, but nobody ever does.
30.
That is very
love.
true. We might have to bring it. We might have to bring it around. Start the conversation.
Couple of mistakes here from Nika and Drekova. And there you go. You just cannot lob short to
40.
Zabori. She's going to
Love.
make you pay.
Yep. If you let her in that front half of the service box, she likes to call it the fun zone, and boy, does she have fun up there.
Yeah, her opponent's not so much.
Great serve. There's that serve you were talking about.
Hanish and Zubori, they lead 3-1.
And they look very comfortable out here. I know they've been eager to play. Haven't been in the court since Long Island. Eager to get going again. Here's one of the problems when you're playing Hanish Zabori. Zabori's got so much firepower, but it's very hard to play Hanish in the deuce court if you're two right-handers. And the women's game is, for some reason, bereft of any left-handers, which has always been a great mystery to me.
That is true. I never thought about that. But yes, it is very tough to have effective overheads to the deuce court as two right-handed players.
And then you see Zabori moving forward, which is just
15
nothing but
ball.
trouble.
And just such a controlled manner, the way she goes forward. Excellent. We see Hanish staying back to cover. Great teamwork.
Hanish doesn't overwhelm you with anything. She just keeps asking you lots of difficult questions.
Yep. And she just sees the game so well.
30, 15.
Airmailed that one.
I think Hanish is the type of player that definitely needs the right partner to win, but she's been doing it.
30 all.
But conversely, she's the right partner for virtually anybody.
100%. Positive, she plays solid, she can still hurt you.
And one of the things I respect
40.
most about Flor Hanish is she is the most into it of anybody in the game. I mean, she's going to do everything she can do to win. She's just 100% committed.
I do concur.
There's Hanish's little blitz, and Anika picks her, catches her on it, warns her partner.
40 all.
That was a smooth over the head by Andreikova there. Not easy to be consistent with that, but very well executed.
And good
Add
recognition
in.
from Anika to warn her.
100%.
This would be a big hold for them to get out of this game. Oh!
Ah!
Nope.
Just
Ball
that.
out.
Game to Inika and Andrikova. The set score is 3-2. Hanish Zubori.
That's a great hold.
They just got to get their teeth into the match. You got to make your opponents feel a little bit uncomfortable as to what's going on out there. And if you don't do that with the top teams, you're going to get rolled. I know a lot about that.
And it's
a lot about getting rolled.
And it's so much about, you know, making a top team feel some sort of pressure. You know, if a player that feels pressure plays extremely different to a player that is just loose and free and doesn't feel like they're going to be losing. So it's so important to try and get to a score where they're going to feel some pressure. Then it becomes mental.
Great serve from Zubori. Now, those are the errors Anika and Drekova simply can't afford to make. Everybody wanted to hit that ball.
They wanted to be in the fun zone there. Everyone wanted to have fun.
That's great read from Zubori. Just can't hit that three-quarter ball mark, as we talked about.
I would love to see Andreikova set up like she's going to drive and then hit a lob, because Zubori's moving in to punish her with it, and she can sort of flip the script there. I would love to see that play come out.
Yeah, and go behind her.
30-15.
Sure.
The way that Mark Parsons made playing Johan Durant popular. Hit it where he is, not where he's going to.
Yep.
Head miss there from Hanish. Let's see if they pay for it.
40-15.
Just a little loose right now, and if you can compete with Hanish Zubori, you cannot afford to be loose. Now that looked like one of my forehands, Mark.
Game. Hanish Zubori.
I think it was deep on the other court as well.
That's right.
2.
No call needed.
Okay, this is a big game right here for Anika and Drekova, whether they can hold Anika's serve, because they got rolled last game she served.
Great moving.
Oh, what a get! Oh, great point.
Wow.
Great coverage from Andreikova.
Absolutely. Way to scramble and stay in there.
Whoa. That sidearm serve does not appear to be bothering Zubori.
No. And that is important. Some people it doesn't bother, you know, and it's hard. It's obviously very hard to switch back and forth between overhand and sidearm, but you know, if it's right in someone's sweet spot, you have to do something different.
Great forehand there from Anika. That's a
Good
great volley from
hands.
Andreikova.
15.
Oh,
Whoa,
just tattooing that ball.
it's an explosion. Not really committed to that swing.
30.
This will be a big game to hold.
All.
And you can see each time, Mark, that they're surviving the initial return, but that next volley is short, and Zubori's really making them pay there. So I would like to see a different formation or something.
Great lob from Hanish, great read behind it.
Wow!
And she's
And
so good at
out.
that, at understanding when her opponents are off balance. And you saw a little confusion between Anika and Drekova. Bam, she blitzed right in, won the point because of it.
And that first step is so explosive. She is very, very quick at that.
Another huge forehand from
Game.
Zabori, and you know, it's those game points. Those, it seems so simple, but that's who determines who wins and loses paddle matches. They had a point to go get to the 4-3, and now they're down 5-2.
100%. And they're going to have to, throughout the match, figure out a way to neutralize the Zabori return. She's just swinging so freely and hitting it so cleanly right now. Mark, I have a score update for you. Delmonico and Gebbia are 2-all with Manley and Ruoff in our other semi-final.
Great win from Manley and Ruoff over Cooper Molenveld. That's the first one you really saw Anika kind of pushing too much. Miss from Hanish there.
A little risque.
Oh, boy, barely cleared the net on that one.
Great volley.
Oh, boy, Zabori breaking out the two-handed backhand. A little deep in the court for that one.
15-30.
I definitely think they should give Hanish a couple cuts at that. Sort of bait her into swinging a little bit, test the forehand early.
First fault of the day
15-40.
for Hanish Zabori. Couple of break opportunities.
Oh,
30,
great discipline there by
40.
Hanish, leaving that ball for Zabori so she could attack the corner.
And attack it she did.
Oh, she did all right.
And there you saw Anika go behind Zabori and catch her off balance.
Yep, that's the chess match. Love it.
Good read in the
great
nick there.
communication.
They switch back. Oh,
40 all.
This will be a tough game for Inika and Andrejkovic to lose. They were 40-15 up. Just for momentum, if nothing else.
that takes us to
in.
set point. Great volley. Oh, what a get.
Oh!
To no avail.
Game, set,
Build you up to break you down.
Hanush and Zabori.
Great hustle there by Anika, but Zabori just drops it.
So Mark, let me take this opportunity to thank Upswing Health. Upswing is a digital sports medicine company that puts an orthopedic specialist at your fingertips. Upswing has free AI-powered diagnostic tools designed by orthopedic surgeons that you can use to identify your injury. You can then learn how to treat your injury or even prevent another one with their free therapy programs, or even speak with a medical professional, all for free as a member of the APTA. So if you just had some soreness after playing or a more serious injury, go to Upswing first, upswinghealth.com. So Mark, what do you think we need to see more of from Anika Andrekova in the second set to compete?
I think they're really going to have to capitalize when they have the opportunity. We saw a couple times they were up in games and they just gave it right back. If you can't win those games and put a little bit of pressure on your opponents, it's going to be very, very tough to make them feel pressure. And when Zabori and Hanish don't feel pressure, they're gonna sort of light you up.
So what would you have them doing differently?
The one play that really sticks out of my mind is at 40-30. We just saw in 5-2 where Anika really went for that heavy roller to bring Hanish and Zabori forward. I think both Hanish and Zabori move so well that that's not really the play there. I think that's the one where you have to play a longer point. I would also like to really see them have Hanish beat them with the forehand. So give her a couple, bait her into driving, and maybe you could maybe you get some misses. You can play around with her confidence. If Zabori right now is playing as loose as she does, it's going to be very hard to break that. So I would try bait Hanish into actually going for a few forehands, and that's maybe with some little bit shorter overheads, and just see what happens.
You know, the Andrekova-Zabori matchup is just an uncomfortable one from Andrekova, because you're asking her to do things that she's not really doesn't really like to do. She doesn't like to play short in the court. And that just opens up so much space for Zabori.
Absolutely. Shout out to the crew that's playing in the South this weekend, Mark. We have a tournament down in Winston-Salem. I heard it's an absolute great time for anyone that's never been to that tournament.
The Southern Invitational, run by Jimbo Galloway. I've been down there a couple of times. Great parties.
So you can attest to it?
I can attest to it.
I love it.
Okay, here we go. Just like we started the first set, Martina Andrekova to serve to Flor Hanish. Yeah, there you saw a real good forehand from Hanish.
Good swing.
And it's not that Hanish's forehand isn't a good shot. It's that it's the weakest of the shots that they've got. It's the most likely one to break down.
Absolutely. I like that play.
15-30.
Give her some that are a little bit questionable that you just want to bait her into swinging. If you get a couple misses, then hopefully you can break her confidence.
Because you're not going to break Zabori's confidence.
Well, I think what it will end up doing is maybe having Zabori go for a bit too much. You know, that's you're really trying to get players that play so explosive like Zabori to go for too much.
That's a good low dipping forehand there.
40.
I think that's game. I think we've got the score wrong.
I missed that point before.
Yeah, that's game. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last week, Mark. You know, when you're hitting your overheads, it's not that you want to prevent your opponents from driving the ball. It's you want them to drive the ball on your terms, not theirs, when you're in position and they aren't.
Absolutely. And that's what you're trying to figure out from a player. What shot don't they quite like? Is it one with pace? Is it one that's a little bit softer? It's not always the same.
And to quote the great Yogi Berra, it's getting late early.
Ooh, I like that.
You just kind of get the feeling here that things are just not going the right way for Anika Andrekova. You know, again, Zabori expanding the
15
size of the
love.
court. Little dangerous there, reaching in front of Heinisch as much as she did, but she gets away with it. 15 love.
15 all.
This would be a great point to capitalize on, yeah.
Good call, switch from Heinisch.
What a lob.
Great lob. And Zabori
15,
tends to make that
30.
mistake periodically where she looks for the side wire on balls that are just too deep. I mean, that's a ball she's got to dump soft and deep in the court.
I'm calling this as a big point, Mark. This could be a
Yeah.
match turner.
I think you're right, Mark. I think it is very important right here. Missed volley and a missed
30 all.
serve. That's 15-40.
We see Heinisch trying to keep the energy up, bouncing around. This is a big, big game.
15-40. Some really good lobbing from Andrekova here.
Great, yeah, really pushing Heinisch behind that service line. Oh! She's going to want that
30,
one back.
40.
Yeah, that's a ball she's got to hit or lob.
And those are the plays we're saying that they can, at a big time, you really have to have a game plan.
Great lob from Anika there.
And we're back to deuce. Those are the
Yeah.
moments, Mark. Those are the moments
Yeah.
we're speaking
40
about where
all.
you have to capitalize. You have 2 break points, and you give 2 points away pretty cheaply.
Yeah, that's a volley Anika makes 9 times out of 10, 19 times out of 20.
Correct. Oh, love the transition play.
Just a great example of Zabori not panicking, being comfortable in the backcourt. It's creating a lot of movement with their overheads. And ultimately a
Add
miss.
in.
We're in
This
a
would be
real battle on the other semifinal as well, with 4 all in the first set between Delmonico Gebbia, Manly Ruelf.
Otherwise
Oh.
known as the Jersey Championship.
Great return. They still have a shot at this game.
Deuce.
This feels like it's a really big game to get some momentum, get a bit of life back in the team of Anika and Andrekova.
And Anika's got to have more success with that forehand return. That's their big weapon.
Add out.
Now, would you describe that as a good tennis volley, Mark? The way she kind of punched it into the corner
Oh, flawless.
and missed the line by 3 feet?
Flawless.
Ah, there we go. There's that inside-out forehand that Anika hit so well.
And Andrekova. The set is 1 all.
There we go. That can be a big game. Again, for players at home, it seems like, oh, it's nothing. It's just, you know, the game early on in the set. But for momentum, for confidence purposes, it's so important.
Now they need to consolidate.
Absolutely.
And they've yet to hold Anika's serve.
15 love.
Okay, so it looks like they're staying back on Zabori's return, which I think is a great change.
I like that a lot.
And it's interesting, too, that Anika just chose to serve sidearm there anyway.
15
I know I sound
all.
like a broken record, Mark, but Andrekova's got to stop with that 3/4 ball from deep in the court. She's just setting up the Zabori drop shot.
You are preaching to the choir. I like Heinisch taking a moment there.
That's a great lob from Hanish.
Oh, really pinching them together there.
30.
That's the limitation of two right-handed players picking on the deuce court. It's such an awkward side to be picking on.
And I was saying earlier, it's an indication of how confident Anika is with that sidearm serve, that even staying back, she's still staying with it.
Great lob. Great
30
shot.
all.
And just like you said last game, Mark, big moment in the match right here.
30 all.
Oh,
Great
What a
get from
get.
Anika.
that's some big hustle. Let's hope they can stay in, yeah.
30-40.
It's just one bad lob. That's all it's taking.
Correct. Zabori will make you pay.
Hanish bailed early in the point there. You like that, Mark, or not?
I don't mind it. She feels like she's got to be back. No biggie.
Yeah, I
She
might have
does
hung
love
in
the
there.
transition play.
Yeah, I might have hung in there a little longer, made her hit that ball a little bit harder. I didn't mind the bail so much. It was a little early for my tastes. Well, you've seen a whole bunch of lobs from Hanish that have found the backhand overhead of Andrekova, and that's a great sign.
Oh,
great
that's a
volley.
tough
40
volley.
all.
Under pressure, Zabori was coming in. Way to stay calm there by Andrekova.
And I love the positive energy out of Anika.
I would love to see her impose herself a little bit more here. Not push the tempo too much, but definitely be a little more imposing and take control of the team on that side there.
100%. Because they're gonna ride hard. They're gonna win or lose on hard forehand.
100%. Oh!
And then they
And
find Andrekova's forehand, reaching with a forehand. That was a backhand volley.
And to me, that's just a mental error. I don't think you're locked and ready for that point and knowing exactly what you're thinking of. Great lob.
Great counter overhead. So
Game
there you are at
to Hanish
1-all
Zabori.
deuce.
They
Have some
lead
momentum on
2
your
games
side.
to 1
And you
second
get caught
set.
volleying on the wrong side.
We see
Yeah.
that great volley by Andrekova, yeah. But as we're saying, you know, those little errors at this level can be the difference between a win or a loss. It's 2 points here or there. We have a score update. Monaco and Gebbia have taken the first set 6-4.
And it's looking more and more like we're going to get a rematch from both Long Island and Darien, where those two teams played in the finals of both of those tournaments.
What a match that was at Long Island.
And there's Zabori reading that early drive again.
15
They just get
love.
behind in the point, and they just can't seem to find their way out once they get back behind in the point. See Jackie Cameron standing there in the background, APTA Tour Director, who's done
30
such a tremendous
love.
job.
Shout out to Jackie Cameron.
Everything runs smoother when Jackie's there. Well, some volley from Hanish with Zabori jumping in front of her. Yeah, there she's deep in the court,
40
leaning back.
love.
Yes, those are the ones that are just not worth it, given the time, given how things are going. That's where you have to dig deep and grind a little more. Wait for your strengths.
40, 15.
But that's also the ball you want your opponent to drive when they're deep in the court like that.
Yes.
Game to Hanish, Zabori. They lead 3-1, second set.
Anika's going to have to pick Andreikova up here.
Look how aggressive Zabori is coming across the center hash mark looking for that forehand. Oh!
That is ridiculous.
That is just skill. Wish she caught that ball. I mean, that was a tough overhead to do it. Oh, she misses the drop shot.
15 love.
But catching that ball off the deck like that with a two-hander, very few people can do
talent.
that. Besides yourself, of course, Mark.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Goes without
But
saying.
this is where Anika and Andreikova really have to just grind it out. You can get Zabori giving you a few errors.
But they've gotten away from staying back.
Oh.
Boy, she's just like a fish on the line there, Mark.
I think she's going to go back and watch this and kick herself a couple times for those.
Hit that ball just deep in the court, hits the ball to her forehand, closes the net off, catches the drive for a drop shot winner. That's great overhead from
30,
Anika.
15.
And too much of the match, Anika's been the mouse, not the cat. Really got to dictate play more.
Yes, love to see her impose her will a little bit more. Wow.
Great spike from Hanish. Oh,
Hey!
what would match be like without
Ah.
Zabori going between the legs or behind the back?
Dell.
She
There we
misses
go.
that one.
40, 15.
Great shot making there, great action. Good see if they can close this game out, Mark.
So important that they close this one out. They've played tough points. They've got a couple errors from Zabori and Hanish. They have to close out here.
Anika with some words of encouragement for her partner.
Love
Another
that.
game point. There they get it.
Okay.
They're like
Game,
teetering on the
Anika,
edge of the
and
match,
Andreikova.
like scraping to
Set
stay in
score
it,
is
but
3-2.
haven't quite gotten over the. That was a tremendous volley from Anika.
So many plays in that point, just all around. All around excitement. What more do you want on a Friday afternoon?
I think you see John Hughes back there too.
I thought so.
A great pickup. Oh, this is great action here. Anika does not like it on that side of the court, as evidenced by that
15
wire play.
love.
Big shout out to APTA board member Jim Getchy, who's watching.
Tough volley.
All called out. Asked for confirmation.
No, I'm sorry. 15 all.
Oh,
30, 15.
Just can't afford that right now. Every point is so precious.
another great
Awesome.
return.
All.
Surprising miss there from Zabori. That's 30 all.
Anika seems to be finding her groove.
And the game is hanging in the balance once again.
That was a great hold there by Andrekova. Now we're seeing some fantastic lobs.
That one was terrific.
This is the point they have to play.
That's the one she's got to be careful with. She misplays the wires.
40.
Played such
30.
a good point, and you could just see her jump at that ball when it was a relatively easy 2-wire ball.
That's a good point, though. I'd like to see them play, Anika and Andrekova play more of those points.
Great point there from
40
Anika.
all.
Little exchange of ground strokes.
Yep. Can they hang in? Yeah, this is a big, big game. Oh,
Great blitz. That was a late
Bad
blitz from
out.
Anika, too.
so much of Andrekova and Anika's success is going to be based on Andrekova's lobs. When she's getting that lob deep, then Anika can really go to work.
I formation against Anika here. Another lead cord winner, and
Game.
we're 3 all, Mark.
Anika
But they,
and Andrekova. Andrek.
Anika and Andrekova put themselves in a good position there. Obviously, they can't plan that lead cord winner, but they put themselves in a good position. Fantastic game there.
But it's amazing how often things go your way when you stick with the plan.
Absolutely.
Oh,
That was a rocket.
I know Anika called out, but there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity to get out of the way of that ball.
Stop, drop, and roll. What a lob.
That's the one she can't hit.
Oh!
Great get from Anika.
Anika keeps them in the point.
Zabori's so dangerous with that forehand drop volley. Oh, she was on that ball.
Love 30.
But that drop volley is only dangerous because you give it to the person, right? You cannot just create a drop volley out of nowhere.
It's that
Andrekova.
three-quarter drive that
Yep.
you just can't afford to hit. You're deep in the court, your opponent's on top of the net.
I'm sure Anika will be telling her, my knees are not happy with having to run that down. Quit it. Oh. Oh.
Oh,
Love
just keeps coming at
40.
you and coming at you. Her backhand looks so
Pummeling.
crisp today.
Yeah, smooth.
Goodness,
play.
Molly.
40.
Really impressed with Anika's
30,
sidearm serve and how
40.
effective it's been. Big point right here, Mark.
You can feel it.
Andrekova's got to stay away from that soft drive here and lob well.
That's right.
40.
Wow, that was a surprising miss from Hanish.
She gave you a gift there now. Can you take it?
Back in the game. That was Bostrom-esque. There's the switch of the net to get the Anika forehand, and great down the line forehand from Hanish there.
She saves them again, but
Add.
wow.
Out.
Wow, miss from Zabori there.
Yes.
Getting some opportunities here. They've got to step through the door. Andrekova's just got to get away from that soft three-quarter drive.
I'm hoping Anika over here is telling her, please don't do that anymore. I cannot chase it down again.
Oh, great overhead
shot.
Andrekova. Point
Here's the
for 4-3.
opportunity.
This would be a huge hold.
Absolutely.
Little chat between Hanish Sabori. I think Anika had up out of her mouth before the ball left her paddle.
Great lob. I like how she disguises that there.
There's
Oh,
the hard overhead, and that's just perfect. Hanish hits the hard overhead, opens the whole court up, and Zavori punches it into the opening.
that's it. You
Good,
can see
smart
how
paddle.
She uses it to create movement. Great shot there by Hanish.
I love Zabori's court positioning, Mark. Look how tight in the court she is.
She's lurking.
Yeah, looking to catch the ball early, looking to attack, looking to steal time from her opponents.
Like a cheetah. I like to see them dump in that ball there to Hanish. Make her take a couple swings.
And here's Hanish with the blitz. And there again, she's so good at
And
recognizing when her opponents are confused.
And her first step is just ridiculously quick. That's how she can take off there. It's really something special.
That's a big game.
Hanish. and
Hanish Zabori knew
they
it.
lead
That fist
the
pump
second
from
set,
Floor
4
Hanish.
games to 3.
We have
Okay.
a score update, Mark, from our other semi-final between Delmonico Gebbia, Manly Ralph, And it is a long fought battle. Delmonico and Gebbia won the first set 6-4, and we are 1-all in the second.
Okay, Hanish to serve. 4-3, second set.
Love 15.
That was really ugly.
Was that sarcastic?
That was brutal. I'd say that was about a third of the way up the net.
Great dig.
Great lob. Zabori's doing a little too much jumping around at the net for my taste, Mark.
She is moving.
Just makes it hard for your partner to volley. I thought Andreka was going to take a cut at that one. Oh, what a volley. Oh.
Stop it.
All.
Have we seen that before, Mark?
I would just love to see her set up like she's gonna drive and then lob it, because she has Zabori and Hanish closing. She could catch them so many times with that shot now. Maybe that'll be a play in hindsight that she'll add to her game. I would because it could be so effective in another match. I don't think she'll recognize it now.
And it's got two benefits, right? It helps you on this point, but it also helps you on the next point because your opponents aren't going to close the net quite so tight.
100%.
30 all.
I mean, Zabori's punished her with 6, 7, 8 of those?
Yep. Oh. Great lob there.
A couple lobs this point from Monika and Drekova that were just barely in or out. And there you have Zabori watching Hanish while she's hitting the overhead.
30,
And Anika pays for it. The floor is very pretty, don't get me wrong, but I still think that Zabori should be watching her opponents to see where they are.
I think she will do that next time after that tagging from Anika.
Point for 4-all. Well, it's just not the shot as she hits two of them. Runs that one down. Love Zabori's court positioning here, straddling the center stripe when ball's in the deuce court. Love how far over she's coming to hit these overheads.
Yep, both hanging back a little bit. Really good to see.
And then she hits, short hops the snowboard.
Anika.
Okay, great fight from Anika Andrekova. 4-all.
The set score is 4-all.
And that's what they have to do. They have to keep hanging around. Zabori's going to give you a couple errors, and you have to ride that momentum. You got to, not give her the easy ones like those three-quarter drives that we're talking about. Make her force the winner.
Give her an opportunity to make some errors.
Love.
Similar to the way they play the big South African cat, Johan Durant.
That is correct.
Great get from Anika there. Can Andrekova survive over there? Good lob, she got the switch. That drive's fine. She's in tight, hits it hard, her opponent's out of position.
And she can hit it hard. I've seen a couple back and she's just thumped. So I'd love to see those ones.
point right here.
Mm. Oh, love that overhead.
Great patience from Zabori there. Nika's got to be careful switching sides with that overhead.
Oh,
she
a little
catches the
seam.
seam, and Zabori's not ready.
Great point there, all around. I think all the players played their role in that point.
It's 30 love. Can they close this game out?
30-15.
Tough error.
A little surprising too. Hanish hadn't been really hurting him with return to serve.
Oh, great volleys
volley.
there. Surviving.
Switch of the net to get Anika's forehand in the middle. Wow, that is so good. Floor Hanish called it absolutely right. So good. What a controlled forehand. Moved the ball around. Finally found the opening after some great volleying from Anika Andrekova.
Oh, she hit 3 different spots there. Zabori did. Incredible.
Oh, that's a great return.
40.
I like to see Anika walking back, just taking a moment. They know how big this game is to win.
I'd like to see him staying back here. I don't want to be messing with the Zabori forehand and add out. Great serve, though. One drive too many from Zabori. Hanish Zabori, little consultation, big moment of the match. They know it. They go into the I formation against Hanish. A little surprised here. Look at where Hanish is standing.
Add in.
That scream told us everything we need to know about how she felt about that play.
Point for 5-4. This would be a huge hold. That's the overhead I don't like. That change of direction overhead, that down up overhead into Hanish's corner.
Game. Anika
Great hold from
and
Anika
Andrekova.
Andrekova.
They lead the second set 5-4.
They are battling. Yeah, and they're hanging around there. You see, they just didn't give them as many errors. They didn't give them as many opportunities for Zabori and Hanish to hurt them with. You know, rather let them sort of self-implode. That's really at some point what you have to do when you're playing Hanish and Zabori. Score update from our other semi-final. Delmonico and Gebbia are 3-2 up in the second set. They are playing Manley and Ralph, and they won the first set 6-4. So Delmonico Gebbia up 6-4, 3-2. I believe it is a big battle over there.
You know what's happened in that match, Mark? They're getting ready for the critical 7th game.
Oh, the one that comes after, the one that comes at 8?
And this is a really good tempo for Andrekova, for Anika Andrekova here.
That I like. You saw Zabori closing, and they throw the lob up. Set up like you're gonna drive. push the lob up. There you go. Create that movement.
Oh, both players swung at that ball. Oh, great ball.
15 love.
Yeah, just a little aggressive there from Monika. It's hard to be too critical of it. She's short in the court. That's her game. Just can't afford to make that error there, though.
Execution.
Okay, so that was clearly a shank volley winner with no apology mark. I want to point that out.
I wouldn't say it is shank, but it was not a cleanest of winners.
And the difference between something that's not the cleanest and a shank mark, I need some education here. There you see Zabori cheating in the middle again. Looks like some rain clouds have appeared, although looks pretty sunny from my angle. Boy, Hannes was awfully deep in the court to hit that one, but she gets away with it.
She's had 2 of those that have been very good when she's hit them to Andreikova. So I think she feels comfortable executing it, and she has so far.
That one was brilliant because she was probably 3 feet behind the service line.
Game.
Well, that game is just too
Hannes,
fast for them.
The second set is 5-all.
Had such good tempo the previous 4 or 5 games. Didn't win all of them, obviously, but the tempo was in their favor, and then they got away from it there. And this is the game they've struggled with the whole match. The Unica serve. Ooh.
Oh, great volleys.
Thought they were going to bail. They hung in there. Andreikova had the answer.
Great disguise.
She's got to get away from that overhead. That overhead when Andreikova changes sides with the ball and tries to take it into Hannes' side wire on a down-up overhead, Hannes is saying, not so fast.
Yeah, she's baiting you into doing that. She knows what's happening.
That's exactly what she wants. And you have just no chance to volley that ball at the net because it's coming down at you from a short angle and so quickly, and you're changing sides. And you could take in a moment here.
all. No.
I think that's love 30.
Love 30.
Great rip from Hannes there. That's 7 points in the trot for Hannes Zabori. They're serving to stay in the second set, and I think when one of these next 3 points, they'll be serving for the match.
Oh,
great get from Monika. She's quick. Oh, what a point!
Wow.
Oh, she's looking for the fans to applaud, and she's absolutely right. That was spectacular. Wow. Wow.
Incredible point there. I believe it's getting dark and there's some rain clouds on the way, so let's see if Hannes and Zabori can close it out before it starts raining that side.
Doesn't it look sunny?
It does.
Maybe the rain is disguised as sun.
That's what I want to see Andreikovic do with her drive. Disguise it and then love it.
Love
she runs down the drop shot there. Love 30.
Love 30.
2 points from a tiebreak. Well, there's the explosiveness of Anika. That was a
40.
difficult ball, that low forehand, but she managed to get it up and down quickly and pounced on the response.
She has such great paddle head acceleration.
$15.40.
There Anika gets caught in between.
30.
All about
40.
decision making and execution.
Yep.
And there her blitz was an ill-advised one, and she pays for it. One more chance to win this game for them. Oh, that's just
my
brilliant.
goodness.
40 all.
That ball was hit pretty hard to drop it, wasn't it?
Oh, but Zabori she knew where it was going. She read it early and committed. That was, if it went down the line, I'm sure Hanish would have run it down. That was amazing.
And another drop volley winner
in.
from Zabori on a 3-quarter return. Match point. And there it is.
Game.
Game, set,
Wow.
match.
Hanish
Zabori,
Zabori.
6-2,
They win the
7-5.
match, the set, 7-5, and the match. Thank you.
Fun match, Mark.
Yeah, I really like the adjustments from Anika Andrekova after the first set. I think they got away from their game plan a little bit in the last 15, 20 minutes. But a fun match nonetheless.
Absolutely, there were some glimpses of greatness from Anika and Andrekova for sure, and I think it was just a matter of one, cutting out those 3-quarter drives when someone's hurting you as much as Zabori was, and really just closing out those big points. They had plenty of opportunities, and they just needed to capitalize and really play some tough paddle at that stage. They were doing their best when Andrekova was really hitting very good deep lobs, and Anika was floating around and doing what she does best.
Yeah, definitely progress for them as a team. I thought that was one of the last couple matches of some of the best matches I've seen them play all year. I just think Anika's got to find more ways to impose her game on the court. And as I said earlier, become more the cat and less the mouse.
Absolutely, and that's a partnership, right? You go back, you watch the tape, you figure out ways that you can hurt each other and plays that you're going to run, and you practice them. You come back better. For the viewers at home, don't forget we are going to be chatting to our winners, Florentina Hanish and Anna Maria Zabori, pretty soon. So stick with us so we can hear their thoughts on this match.
And if Delmonico Gebbia get through, which it looks like, I mean, they were ahead, you're talking about the 3rd consecutive Grand Prix with the same 2 teams playing in the final, at least on the East Coast.
The Long Island final was an incredible final, so it will definitely be a barn burner if we get there, Mark.
Let's hope the weather holds. The radar seems to indicate some rain coming. Okay, our winners are in the hut.
Woo! You got your first question ready?
Getting ready on the microphone. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first, Mark? You got a good one?
You're the veteran. Start it off.
Age before beauty, is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm insulted.
Kick us off strong.
Well, I want to find out from Zabori if there was something pre-planned with Andrekova that got her all the drop shot winners.
Little money exchanging hands.
A little money exchanging hands, maybe.
I think that's what happens when you play with someone for a couple years. You just know their traits and their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, no question. That's a big thing. They spent 2 years together, made quarterfinals and nationals a couple times. Last year came in as one of the favorites to win nationals, number two seed.
I remember when they won the Boston Open, they became the #1 team in the country.
And then ran into a very hot Macy Elliott, Marcelo Rodezno with a big crowd behind them. That was one of the that was probably the toughest match that Elliot Rodesno had. They lost the first set. I think it was the only match they lost the first set.
I believe the players are being mic'd up now, so we're going to be chatting to them in just a second. The last I heard about our other semi-final Delmonico and Gebbia are 5-2 up in the second set, and they won the first set 6-4. So
and once that match is over, we'll get you an approximate time for the final, which we'll put up on put a banner up on the stream so everyone can know about it. Okay, let's get to our #1 seeds. Flor, Anna Maria.
Hey!
How are you guys?
Welcome. Very stylish masks. I'm very impressed.
Are you saying that it's better to wear masks than when we don't wear it? Like, you know what that means?
I thought maybe the mask should go higher on your face, actually, Anna Maria. That's what I was saying.
Probably I'll see better.
So we noticed that you hit about 10 drop shot winners off of on Drekova today. Was that partially a result of having played with her the last couple of years?
You know, I think it was the result of closing the net, and you know, I have a great respect for Martina. So it's not a payback that I had to run for those in the past. It's just you know, I realized that was one of the strategies that worked in the Ariane against them. So why change something that works?
Now it looks like you guys are going to get. So they're not through yet, but it looks like Delmonico Gebbia, who you played the last 2 times. Any thoughts on that matchup, Flor?
Yes, Carrie's here. They just said they won 6-4, 6-2. We haven't talked yet.
We haven't played them that much this year, I think. Only twice.
You don't know their game just quite yet?
Well, we thought we knew after Darien, and then obviously we didn't in Long Island. So now we have to talk. We already talked after Long Island.
They are great competitors. I mean, we have this great relationship off the court, and then once we're on the court, we go really hard at each other. So it's going to be a big battle. I think once again, it's one of those matches that I would even want to watch, but we're playing, so.
Well, we're looking forward to watching it.
Absolutely, you guys are looking very smooth out there, playing very well. So we're definitely going to be getting some drinks on this side and getting ready to watch a fantastic final.
Thank you.
You know, Mark, where to meet me for drinks, right?
That's right.
All right, thank you, guys.
Okay, congrats. We'll see you guys in the finals.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have a time for the finals yet, guys?
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I think originally it was scheduled for 5, and with the inclement weather coming in, we'll have to find out.
Well, they'll have it up on the screen, I'm sure, as soon as they figure out the exact time that the finals is going to be. But I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to go get your happy hour drinks, set yourself up, and be ready for round 3 of the Delmonico Gebbia Hanish Zabori battle this season. Mark?
Mark, before we run off, any thoughts on the final and how you think the teams match up?
You know, if you asked me after Darien, I would have had one answer, but this after Long Island, Delmonico and Gebbia really played so tough, and they've obviously continuing their streak as they go through to the final year. So I really don't have an answer. I'm just excited to see what adjustments both teams are going to make. It's going to be interesting.
Okay. At this point, I think we're scheduled for 5:30 for the final, but we'll have an update on the stream shortly, and we'll see everybody then. Mark,
Stay
always a pleasure.
tuned. Always a pleasure.